Hello friends, welcome to day 3 of my Light the Year class to go. This class to go is going to feature the amazing Light the Year bundle. I have been loving this bundle and we are using a classic red and green color palette for Christmas. So if you want to earn the class to go, there's 3 ways to earn it. I've already gone over details on all 3 ways to earn it. Your order needs to be put in by September 30th to get the class to go kit for free. If you need more details on how to earn it, there's details in the video description, as well as a link on my blog where you can check out all of the details on the class to go, which will tell you everything you need to know about earning the class to go for free. This is the bundle we're featuring today. It is featured in the mini catalog. It is on page 41 if you haven't found it yet in the mini catalog. It is a gorgeous little bundle. I was really drawn to a lot of these samples, and I think that they're beautiful, and we're going to make some fun cards as well. So for the class to go, you will need the stamp set and dies. The class does not come with those, so if you're placing that order in my online store, you might want to go ahead and throw these in your order just to make sure you have them. You'll definitely want to have the dies on hand. We're doing a lot of die cutting for this class, and you'll need the stamp set as well. Lots of stamping and die cutting for the class. You'll want to make sure you have the dies and stamp sets. Now your class to go kit is going to come with all the cardstock you need to die cut your pieces. We went over that on day 1 when we made this card. This is the first card we made on day 1. You're going to receive 2 half sheets of basic white cardstock to do all of your stamping and die cutting. So you'll get enough pieces to do that. Now this was day 2. This was a card we made yesterday. And this is a card for day 3. Your kit is also going to include all the pieces to die cut these little branches and leaves and berries. You're going to receive the cardstock for that as well in your kit. So this is a card we're going to make today. Beautiful, beautiful card. So I'm going to move day 1 and 2 out of the way, and we will get to day 3, which is today's card. Now, to save time, I have already done all of the stamping and die cutting. So I'm going to pull out all of those pieces. Now, in the card kit, you're going to receive all your pieces that you need for your card. So I'm going to pull out all of these little die cut pieces. Here we go. And it just occurred to me, I don't think I have my red pieces die cut, but that's okay. We'll figure that out when we get there. Now you're going to receive this little frame in your die cut. This is not going to be visible on your card, but this is what we are going to build our wreath on to make sure we get a nice round wreath. So you're going to receive this. This is just made from 2 of the Deckled circles dies, just nestled together and die cut. This will be in your kit. So just make sure that you hang on to that because that's what we're going to build our wreath on. And you're going to receive this embossed piece with the, I want to say it's called Perfectly Plaid Embossing Folder. It's a new embossing folder in our mini catalog, which is beautiful. So we're going to actually start by just adhering this onto the card. So let me move that out of the way, and I'm going to add some adhesive. I'm just using my Stampin' Seal for this. And we're just going to adhere this onto our card base, which is just a standard size card base. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to give my card a good little burnish, make sure that that's nice and secure. All right, so I'm going to put this aside. We've glued those pieces together so we don't lose either one of them. And I'm just going to put that aside, and we're going to work on our wreath. Now, like I said, I have already die cut and stamped all my pieces. Now, if you need some more direction on how to die cut your little leaves and pine cones, make sure that you check out video number 1 from day 1 because I go over that as well. Okay, so it looks like I maybe lost one of my little twigs. You're supposed to have 2 of these pecan pie ones, and I'm not finding my second one, so it either fell out somewhere or I'm just not seeing it, but that's okay. We will make do. Okay, so you're going to need a bunch of these. I think I have 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're going to need 8 of these die cut of the leaves. You're going to need 2 of the pine cones, 4 of the little green sprigs in the dies, which, let me pull out the dies, let me show you which ones. You're going to need 4 of these, and then you're going to need 2 pecan pie. These are garden green, by the way. You're going to need 2 pecan pie little sprigs, and then this little die cut right here, those are your little berries, which I did not pre-die cut. Probably because I knew I would have lost them if I had die cut those. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut those, as well as my little sprig here, which has been misplaced. So let me just move these out of the way. I'm just going to pull in my mini cut and emboss machine just so we don't have to move a lot of stuff out of the way. And we're gonna die cut these. We can die cut these at the same time. Now, if you want to put an adhesive sheet on the back of your red one for easy adhering down of the berries, you can. I'm not gonna do that because I'm just going to use my liquid glue. I'll just use tiny dots of my liquid glue to die cut that. But if you wanted to do an adhesive sheet, you absolutely could. You could do an adhesive sheet for all of these little detailed pieces, but on my wreath, they don't all kind of stick down. They kind of pop up a little bit. So I didn't use a wreath on all of mine, or adhesive sheets on any of mine. Okay, so let's just die cut this. So we have our extra sprig, and we have our berries ready to go. So I'm gonna pull that out. And how many berries do we have? One, two, I'm gonna need to cut the berries one more time. So I'm going to just kind of get these off. And we will poke these out. I'm gonna grab take your pick tool. You can use your scissors. Just poke those out, and we're gonna run this through just one more time real quick, just so we have enough of the little berries for our card. There we go. Ta-da. I have loved this bundle. This has been one of my favorite bundles, and I played with it right away when I got it because it's just a little bit more different than stuff we've had in the past. I mean, we always have snowmen, we always have what's the other one? We always have like reindeers and stuff, but we've never really had like a lantern set like this. So it really kind of drew me in because it was a little bit different. Okay, let's get our little berries. I'm gonna leave them all in a little pile over here just so I don't lose them. I'm gonna set my die aside so I don't lose that, and we'll get our sprig out of here. So we have all of our pieces ready to go. So once you have all your stamping and die cutting done, you're ready to assemble. So I'm actually going to we're going to start with our circle here, and maybe it'll be better if I zoom in just a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. I'm going to do all of my adhering with my liquid glue. You can use glue dots, you can use tape runner, you can use whatever you want. But because the circle is so narrow that I didn't want to use like a tape runner because the glue might go everywhere. And hold on, I'm looking for, here it is. I'm going to pull out my silicone mat, because if any glue goes off the edge on the silicone mat, it'll pull right off. So it'll be good. Okay, so we're going to start at the, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I'm actually going to put it on my wreath. So we're going to start like thinking about a clock. So I'm going to start at like 6 o'clock. And I want all my branches to go the same way. So I'm going to stick one down at 6 o'clock. And I'm going to stick one down at 12 o'clock. And so they're all going the same way. So this one I flipped to go that way. So they're all going to go around the same way. Then we're going to do 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So if you're looking at a clock, this is kind of how we're doing it. And this is the best way that I found to adhere wreaths, is to think of it like a clock. That helps you kind of visualize where things go. All right, now just go in between all of these and just add another one. And you'll just want to tuck that stem under each one. You don't want the stems on top. So that's where liquid glue comes in handy here, because you can kind of lift it up. And if you can't lift it up, you can just trim off the stem. That'll work too. But we're just going to go around. So while this wreath may look like it's going to take a long time to assemble, it really actually goes together pretty quickly because we have that little base that we're building everything on. And when you think about it in terms of a clock, it makes it easy to kind of place everything down. All right, that looks good. So everything is nice and adhered down. It's in a nice little circle. And see, any of the glue that seeped out is all going to be on this, which it will just peel right off of that. All right, so really, really cute little wreath. Isn't that fun? All right. Let me move my silicone mat out of the way. I don't want to stick anything on there. All right, now for our little pine cones, we're going to stick those down. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of those. And we're just going to stick these on the bottom. We're just going to put 2 on the bottom. So 1 and 2 down on the bottom. Then we're going to pull in a couple of our sprigs, and we're going to do 2 on each side, 2 of our leaves on each side. And I am just putting adhesive just on the bottom of these, just so the tops can kind of hang free a little bit. And I'm just going to put them over my pine cones. Our bow's going to cover up this center part right here. So if we make it kind of messy in the center right here where the bow's going to go, everything will be covered up. All right, our other 2 sprigs, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of have them meet in the middle here where the bow will go. Perfect. And let's adhere our little branches. Just a little bit of glue just on the edges there. And we'll stick one here and one on the other side. One here. Perfect. So that is like our wreath, nice and built up. Beautiful, right? So let's just set that aside just for a second to completely dry. Now, for your bow, you're going to cut out 2 bows. You're going to stamp and cut 2 in real red. And I want to show you why we're doing 2 so you can see how we have like this fuller looking bow. So I'm going to use my scissors, and all I'm going to do is cut off the bottom of one of them, and I'm going to go right up against that stamped line and then just kind of go down just like that. So you just have this little bow, and you could use this as like a little bow tie on a little critter or something. That would be really cute too. But we're just cutting off this bottom piece. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to adhere this down with dimensionals. So let me grab, I'm just going to cut a little piece of the edge here because it's a little bit too big for a full dimensional. So I'm going to stick that on. And then we will just stick that onto the top of our bow. We're just going to layer it right on top. And that's just going to give it like a fuller, kind of 2-layered looking bow. Really cute. All right, now I'm going to cut another like piece of my edge here. We'll stick that on the back of this bow. And this will go down onto our wreath. So let's pull our wreath back in. And we're going to make sure that we cover up the middle where all of those little pieces lined up. We're going to cover up the middle. All right, now comes like the surgery part. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue on the little branches, the little pecan pie branches that have the little spots for the berries. And I'm going to take my take your pick tool. So you can see I just have the tiny little pieces there, and I'm just going to adhere these down. You can even use the other side of your take your pick tool. Just once it kind of adheres down, you can pull it off with that pokey end. You can use an adhesive sheet like I said, but these are actually really small, so peeling off the adhesive sheet on the back of these I think is a little bit more problematic than just picking them up and dropping them down. Now if you didn't want to do this, you have a couple other options. You can actually cut the sprig out of white. Let's see, did I get that one? Yeah. You can actually cut the sprig out of white and then just color the berries red and color the stem pecan pie. Or you can leave the berries off altogether and just leave the little sprig. That's always an option too. You don't need to even add the berries if you don't want to. If you feel that they're maybe a little bit too problematic and you don't want to add the berries, that's perfectly fine too. I have just one tiny one down here. Okay, so just a couple more little berries to add. My take your pick tool is it's really gummy, so they're kind of being like lost up there. So that doesn't help for sure. Okay, I think that one will stay. Let me flip this around. My take your pick tool. The take your pick tool it really kind of makes you feel like you're doing surgery because you're laying all these little pieces down. And this is probably the hardest part of all 4 cards, is just putting these little berries on. But again, you can absolutely leave them off if you don't want to add them. They are not necessary if you feel like this is a little bit too putsy for you. You can say, Ruth, you've got to be kidding me. Then you know what? Don't put them on. It's perfectly fine. Your card will still be completely adorable, I promise. So there's our finished wreath with all those berries. They are very cute. If you even have red rhinestones or something, you could stick those on as well. Little red gems, those would be perfect. We actually have some. I think in our online store, in the online exclusive, there were little red berries, I think, that came out. So that would be another really good option. And you could always color I'm trying to find all the lids for my stuff. You can always color regular rhinestones with your Real Red Stampin' Blend, and that will give you another option for let me zoom back out just a little bit. That'll give you another option for adhering these down. All right, now I'm going to go around and I'm just going to add a few dimensionals. This is how we're going to adhere it to our card. So I'm just going to make sure that I have just a nice little spattering of dimensionals around. Peel off the backings of all of those. And then we'll just adhere it to our card. And we do still need to do the greeting, but that is really quick. I'm going to do that real fast. That's stamping that's really quick. Okay, so we're going to adhere that down. Perfect. Isn't that pretty? I don't even know if you need a greeting. It's so pretty by itself. All right, so I just have a scrap piece of basic white. You're going to do this on that half sheet that comes in your kit. I have Real Red, and I'm using the same greeting that we used for card number 2, and I'm just going to stamp that out. Now, you could use any of these little words. You can use peace, joy, light, whichever one you want. I am just going to use joy, so I'm just going to use my scissors. And you're just going to cut that out to the height and the width of the word. That is going to be our little greeting, just like that. And I'll just bring back in my my glue here, my liquid glue. You can also pop this up on a dimensional, which it looks like that's what I did here, but I'm just going to adhere this one down with glue. And there you go. Oh, wait, not done yet. Let's add some gems. Hello. We've got to make this thing sparkle. So I'm going to use those champagne colored gems again. And we'll do one here, and then one over here. Those champagne colored gems, they're gorgeous. And that completes card number 3. So beautiful. So we made that beautiful wreath. We kind of took the hard parts out of it by just kind of thinking of it like a clock. And we just added so many details to the bottom of that wreath to really make it sparkle and shine and really step up this card. So that is card number 3. Yesterday we made card number 2, which is this one. And on Monday we made card number 1. So tomorrow will be the final day of our Like the Year class to go, so you won't want to miss that. Make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps my video grow. That tells YouTube that you like what I'm showing you and you want to see more. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with card number 4 of our class to go. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.